Hello, congratulations on the purchase of your Puma. My name is Russ. I'm going to do an orientation video with you today. Along with this email are a couple video links to some maintenance videos. I do encourage you to watch those as well. We'll start with your orientation right here in the front with your tongue jack. You do have electric tongue jack. Extend and retract with this button here, and then you have a light right there with that button. If this were to fail for any reason, remove this rubber cap right here, and there's a tool in the front. You can manually crank that up or down. You do have two 20-pound propane tanks. Regulator right here. There's an arrow on your regulator pointing towards the tank that you're using. So if that tank goes empty, just give that a turn, and then you can use this tank while you fill that one. Your batteries will go there. You do have room for a couple batteries there. We have not prepped this yet, still on the lot. So if you see something that is missing or it's dirty, we'll get this all taken care of before you pick up. Over on the side, you do have a door for your pass-through storage here. Your doors are held up with plastic clips, so be careful not to break those. Underneath your first slide, you have one of your two gray tanks. So there's a handle connected with that. Just hook your wastewater hose up there and pull that gray handle, and that is one of the grays. Storage underneath right here, that goes to your dinette. And that first gray tank, that is your kitchen gray. And then down here you have your other gray and your black. So hook up your wastewater hose, pull that black tank first, that black handle, let that toilet water empty out. Once that's empty, pull that gray handle. That gray dirty sinking shower water is going to help wash the black out of your hose. Once both of those tanks are empty, close that gray, leave the black open, and then you're going to go around to the front side of the camper, to the door side. You have a black tank flush. So you're going to take a hose, hook up to your black tank flush, turn the water on. It's like an upside down sprinkler system in your black tank. It's going to flush it out for you. So let that run for a few minutes. Once you're satisfied it's clean, you can turn that hose off, unhook it, and then you are all done. You can close your black handle and put your cap back on. Right here's where your 50 amp power cord will go. So 50 amp service. I do recommend to use a 50 amp surge guard when you're plugged in at the park. Anything over, any surges that come through the park are going to go through your camper. So that surge guard is going to help protect you. So highly recommend to use a 50 amp surge guard. Right here, your city water connection, full hookup camping. So hook your garden hose right up to there. You'll have water pressure from that garden hose going throughout your camper. I do recommend to use a water pressure regulator. Anything over 50 psi, you could burst your line. So definitely recommend to use one there. That will help protect you from any bursting lines or anything from too much water pressure. Come to the back, you can store your wastewater hose right in your bumper. Spot for your license plate, and then above that you have inputs for cable or satellite. You do have a spare tire on here. It is the same size as the tires that are on the camper. Just might be a different rim is all. You're pre-wired for an observation or backup camera. And then you do have a ladder on here so you can get up there and do your maintenance. Outdoor kitchen. You have your griddle right there. Your griddle will have a propane line that you'll hook up to it. And the other end will go right there to quick connect. There are two quick connects there, so you can have more than one if you have a grill as well. You can run the grill and your griddle. But otherwise, you do have a spot to hook that up. Sink goes right into a gray tank. You do have a microwave out here, standard turntable microwave. And then your mini fridge. This is electric only. So you do need to be plugged in for this, and all your controls are there. Some storage. And then below your outdoor kitchen, you have your control for your stabilizers. You have electric stabilizers. So you just hold the button down, extend or retract. These are used just for stabilizing, not for leveling. So get the camper level first, and then put those stabilizers down. Inside here you do have a light switch And then below that you have a charging port. It's a charger for a Furrion Bluetooth speaker. They don't generally come with them, but you can buy one if you want to. They just put them in there automatically. I guess they really want you to buy one. Right over here you have an outdoor shower. So you have a shower head with hot and cold water, outdoor speakers, and an electric awning. You do have your solid steps. Your steps just lift up and go right into the door frame. There's too much snow on them, so I'm not going to lift them up right now. But you just lift them up and then they'll clip right into the door frame here. You can adjust the legs on them. The first time you bring your steps down, or if you adjust the legs, just try to make sure that your step is as flush to your threshold as you can. Because if this is raised up too high, your door can actually hit on it and damage your door. Low point drain down here. So that's hot and cold. That's the lowest point in your water system. So if you need to empty the water out of your lines, that's where you're going to do that. Just open those valves. This is where you're going to fill your freshwater tank. It's frozen, so if you're rustic camping, just take that cap off, fill your freshwater tank, and then you'll turn your water pump on, and that's how you'll have water pressure throughout your camper. So below that, you have a spot. Where is it? There it is. Right there, that's how you're going to empty your freshwater tank. So pull that handle there. That will empty that freshwater tank. Furnace vent is here. Try not to block that. It is the exhaust vent for your furnace. It does get very hot, so if you put like a plastic table or something in front of it, it could melt it, so be careful of that. And then right here is your water heater. Your water heater is gas or electric also. You have an anode rod on here. This is your plug. So if you're not familiar with the anode rod, you have a metal tank. So instead of your tank corroding, this anode rod will corrode. So it's going to get eaten away. After 2 or 3 years, you'll have to replace it. This is your plug. You're going to put it right in here, tighten that up. Now you're ready to fill your water heater. So all you have to do is turn your water on, hook it up on the city water, or fill your tank and turn your water pump on. Start filling your water heater. You want to make sure it's full before you turn it on, and to do that, pull on this relief valve right here, or turn on a hot water valve on any of your sinks. And as long as you get a solid stream of water coming out, you know that it's full. Once it's full, to turn the electric on, turn that switch on right there, and that will turn the electric portion on. There is a switch inside on your control panel that will turn the gas portion of your water heater on. So gas or electric, just make sure it's full first. It's electronic ignite, so that's all you have to do. Make sure it's full and turn the switch on. You can empty it by pulling out the anode rod, and it will empty right from there. Right over here you have an output for cable, satellite, or antenna, a couple plugs, and then a TV mount right there, so you can have a TV outside. You do have your vent that goes over your stove, so if you turn that fan on, just make sure this flap right here is open. If you're not using it, you can snap that closed. In front of your door going into your bedroom area, you have your other switch for your front stabilizers. So same thing, get the camper level, put those stabilizers down. Other side, your pass-through storage, and then you are solar ready. So if you have a portable solar panel, just plug it in here and it will trickle charge your battery. Looks like that's everything on the outside, so we will head inside next. Alright, just inside your door is your control panel. Up here you can see how full your tanks are and how charged your battery is. So just push on the buttons here. It's your battery, fresh, black, and your 2 grays. This wash is not connected with anything. You don't have a wash tank, so this will always read empty. But as your tanks fill, these lights will light up. Right here's your water pump, so you can turn that on if you use that freshwater tank. And this is to turn the gas portion of your water heater on. And then these are all lights right here. Down here you have your awning control, extend and retract. So extend that awning out. Once it's all the way out, just let go of the button. and when it's all the way in, it will stop once it reaches the camper. Your slides in and out, so just hold them down till they're all the way in or all the way out. Alright, so that's your controls. Around the corner here, you have a light for your light in the bedroom there. Bathroom, just inside the door, you have your fan and a light. So that turns that fan on right there. Just crank it up here. Make sure you put this back down, the lid back down, before you start traveling. Your shower has this guy on here for travel, so make sure that's on there. And then you do have magnets holding your doors together, so it has a nice tight seal while you're in the shower. GFCI outlets. And then your toilet is a foot pedal flush, so halfway down on the pedal brings water in, all the way down will flush it. Your bunkhouse, you have your ladder. This stores right up, just lift it up and store it in there for travel. Lights, you have the one switch out there, turns this light on. Otherwise, these lights are push button. So push in the center, turns those on and off. You have a spot for a TV right here. Your hookups are right up there. Emergency exit window. You have more than one of these in the camper. To get out, pull on this triangle here, this red triangle. It pulls the screen out. And then you're just going to throw this window open. So throw it open to get out. But before you travel, make sure they are all latched into place. Otherwise, the wind will catch hold of the window and just rip it right out. You have your bed here, 300-pound capacity on this top bunk. When you travel, I do recommend it. You have it up in the up position, latched into place, because otherwise, as you're traveling down the road, this is going to be back here bouncing, and it eventually could pull those right out of the wall. So I'd be very careful of that. So I'm going to latch this up. Maybe got one hand. All right, sorry I had to pause it. I only had one hand. So it is up in place now. You do have your couch down here, cup holders. Otherwise, you can make this into a bed as well. Let's lift up on the very front of it, and it will fall down into a bed. All right. You have this latch right here. This is on here just to make sure your door doesn't come open while you're traveling, because when your door comes open, if it opens up when your slide out is in, then when you open your slide, it's going to end up hitting on the door and crushing your door in the slide out. So this is just extra precaution to make sure your door doesn't pop open on you. A nice closet space there. So it is secured, but like I said, just a little extra precaution. That way you don't have to worry about your door getting crushed in the slide out. All right, moving on out here. Right outside the bunk area. Fuses and breakers. Regular car style fuses. Everything is labeled. There are not extra fuses in there, so I would pick some up before you go anywhere, just to have them. You have storage underneath on this one. Another cup holder. And this is the same thing. It goes into a bed just like the one in the bedroom. Light switch here. USB charging ports. And then you have your U-shaped dinette, which also goes into a bed if you need it. Just take this tabletop, pop it off of these legs. Just pops right off. And then these legs pull right out of the floor. And then the tabletop will be rested right on the ledges there. And this magnet's going to help hold it into place. There's one on both sides. So once the tabletop's down, you can use your cushions and fill in the void right there. And you have another bed. Push button light right here. Entertainment center. This mount right here will come off. You just lift it up off the wall. And that's what can go outside if you want a TV outside. Right here is your antenna booster. As long as that green light is on, your antenna will work. If it's off, it will not. You will not get local channels. So make sure that's on for local channels. Your stereo. This is Bluetooth. DVD player, CD player.
Loretta Lynn releasing her 50th
You have indoor and outdoor speakers.
Still Woman
So
Enough.
blue is on,
Features
red
a
is
who's
off.
who of
It also
Nashville
shows zone 1
stars
is
we took a
on.
listen
So just push the 1 to turn it on or off.
featuring
So that's the sound bar here. And then 2 is outside speakers. And you can have them both on if you want.
We heard the first.
You do have a remote for your fireplace and your stereo. Your fireplace also has controls right here. So you have a power button. You have a timer. You can adjust the rock color, so you can adjust the temperature and the brightness. So it's a nice space heater. It is electric only. 12-volt refrigerator. So this will run as you're traveling down the road off your battery. Right here's your controls for your settings. And then below your refrigerator is your carbon monoxide LP detector. And then an access panel for winterizing, so your water pump is right behind there as well. Looks like your water heater is going to be right there too. Standard turntable microwave. You have your fan and your light. Extra counter space right here with this down. Otherwise, this folds up. Makes a backsplash. You have lights right here for blue lights on these. But to light your stove top, put it on high, and then turn this igniter until it lights up. Turn this to the right only. Turn that to the left, you can break it. And your oven works with it as well. So you put it on the flame, hold that button in while you turn the igniter until your pilot light lights up. Don't forget to put this back down because this will break in transit. And then you have a spot back here you can put knives if you want. Keys are on your sink. That's where they'll be when you pick up. More push button lights throughout. And then right here by your bedroom door you have your thermostat. So you can decide if you want air, fan, off, or heat. Adjust your fan speeds and then adjust your temperature right here. Another latch for your sliding door. Or excuse me, for your main door here. So another precaution to make sure your door does not get caught in your slide. Another one of those emergency exit windows, but you also have the door here. Right inside is your light switch. Spot for a TV. There's a backer in the wall. I would use the stud finder, find the right spot. You do have USB charging ports kind of throughout and plugs. And then you have storage underneath your bed, and that's your power cord. And there's your spare tire cover, looks like. You are 50 amps because you are pre-wired for a second air conditioner. So that would go right here where this vent is, if you were to get one. And it looks like that's just about it in here. So I want to thank you for purchasing at TerryTown. If you have any questions after you receive this video, just write them down, and when you come to pick up, we'll be happy to answer them for you. Thanks again, and congratulations.